Yay, it's the next installment of the Chronic Pain Diaries. At least I'm, in my living room, not in my room by myself this time, but I look and feel like absolute crap right now. I have had to switch up my sleeping schedule a little bit, which, that'll make anyone feel like trash, but it really comes down hard on me. I've also been trying to get a ton of work done lately because I'm making up for the fact that I had like a 2-week long flare. And on top of all of that, the weather is on absolute crack lately. We're going from these like nice sunny 50-degree days to the next day you wake up and there's like snow on the ground. It's like 25. There's a bunch of wind and it's just nonstop weird, crazy weather where it can't make up its mind on, what it wants to do. So all of that combined, and it feels also like I may have eaten something that didn't agree with me, which I can't figure out for the life of me what that would be because I've been eating pretty much nothing but vegetables and gluten-free vegan bread lately, which means there's now yet another vegetable or fruit that I can't eat anymore, which is starting to make things a little bit tricky, but we'll see how process of elimination goes. I wanted to mention something in this little installment, I guess, of my chronic pain diaries. It's something that isn't very fun to admit to, but I've been thinking a lot over the past few days about the fact that many of the creators that I watch talk about the fact that when you first start on YouTube and you only have a little handful, like maybe a couple hundred subscribers who watch you, you have mostly really nice comments and stuff in your comment section and really supportive people. And it isn't until you gain a decent sized following that you start having trolls. But I was not that lucky. I don't know why. I've had a couple of my subscribers tell me in my Instagram inbox they cannot for the life of them understand why this is, but I have been a troll magnet pretty much since the start. It might be because of the subject matter that I discuss, things like being pagan and, having chronic health problems and stuff like that. Sadly, it is things that are just going to automatically bring those trolls out. But other people I know also discuss those things on YouTube, and they don't get nearly the hate that I do. Most of the time, though, when it's something like, say, a pagan video, if someone's being rude in the comments, I can generally either just ignore them and think they're an idiot and move on with my life like it's not a big deal, or laugh at them if it's a particularly weird reaction to something that I said. And it doesn't really bother me at all. I just, continue doing what I'm doing. But recently, I made a video, and this time it hit a little bit harder. I made a video about ableism in the mental health versus physical disability community during the pandemic, and how it's been really hard for a lot of us who are physically disabled because people in the mental health community haven't been as sensitive as I wish they were. And I detail the fact that, I'm from both sides of this argument, so I get it. I understand both sides, but that we just need to support each other a little bit better and stop being so self-serving in like a bad way. If you want more information, you can just watch the video, but pretty much every comment under that video was people telling me that because I am a high-risk person of contracting COVID and potentially dying from it, I am expendable and I need to just basically get out of the way, just die from it so that herd immunity can happen, or that I should just spend the rest of my life alone in my house, not interacting with anyone, never leaving for any reason because they want to go and have a good time. And I think this time it hurt a lot more because I had spent so long on that video trying to lay out all the reasons why that's a toxic way of thinking and a really hurtful way of thinking. And I tried so hard to appeal to a lot of different people from both sides of the issue. I tried to explain to them why it's not right to think of someone as expendable. And I try to even understand their side, but to have everyone in your comment section tell you that it's okay with them if you just go and die, it gets to you after a while. And I've since had to disable comments on it because I just couldn't handle it anymore. And they were getting bad enough that I had family members and friends inboxing me going, "Are you okay? People are being really awful in your comment section." And it's gotten me to the point where I'm starting to strongly consider just disabling comments from now on every single health related video that I make, because I need to take care of myself. And I'm not going to just stop making these videos because they do help people and they help me too. And I think that if you have something to say, you shouldn't have to be censored by people who are just trying to hurt you for no reason other than they're having a bad time. So if you happen to see disabled comments on a lot of my videos about health stuff, I'm really sorry. Just it's gotten to a point where I just can't handle that stuff anymore. Just doing a quick little check-in. Sorry if you can hear that weird car noise thing outside. I don't know what people are doing right now. But I just woke up maybe half hour ago or so, which is why I look just prom ready right now. And it's right now a couple days after the first part of this video. I thought about filming yesterday, but I just couldn't. I woke up yesterday feeling so bad that I legitimately thought I might have the flu. I didn't have the flu, it was just a flare, but that's how nasty things got for me yesterday. In the morning, I could barely move. I felt really bloated and really sick. And I got to that point where I feel like I'm going to throw up, but I can't throw up for whatever weird reason. So I was just, they would get to like this point and just sit there. There was just no relief from it. I took medicine for it, didn't really help that much. I had bad pains. My right leg kept on going numb. It was just really not a fun day yesterday. And then I decided, well, I'm going to try to go to bed somewhat early, at least early for me. So I come up here and I was tired. I honestly was tired. I was exhausted. I wanted to go to sleep so badly. And until 5 in the morning, I was just flopping around, couldn't get comfortable, had a lot of pain, had even more nausea that hit in like the middle of the night. And my anxiety just went through the roof. My anxiety is directly kind of correlated to my physical health. I don't usually get anxiety for like the, typical reasons. It's always somehow linked to how I'm doing physically. So I get so bad in the pain department that I end up kind of having a little freak out over it, where my brain is like, oh no, we're dying, let's all freak out, because it just doesn't know how to deal with how bad I'm feeling. But I'm gonna try to wake up a little bit more, to get to my living room and just relax a little bit. Hopefully I feel a little better as the day goes on. I do want to address something that did happen at one point last night. I got so low at one point just from not feeling very well. And like, it's not like this is the first flare for a while. I mean, from like November till now, I've only had a few scattered days where I felt even moderately okay. Most of the time from November to now, I've been in bad pain and nausea flares where my brain fog's so bad that I'm waking up not even knowing what room I'm in the house and stuff. And it got me to a really low point. And I had filmed a video, not last night, it was when I was pre-filmed. I was just kind of sitting, and it was me talking about the fact that generally I just, it's just like, well, I said it at the start of this video, usually I don't let nasty comments get to me, but I had actually filmed a video where I said that I would disable comments if people kept saying nasty things, and I was pretty angry in it. I wasn't speaking terribly politely in it, and because I felt so bad, I decided it was a great idea to upload that. And I left it up for a few hours before deciding to privatize it. I stand by everything that I said in the video. The reason I privatized it, though, is because I wasn't in the best state of mind when I filmed that video or when I uploaded it, and I prefer the way that I explained how I was feeling at the start of this video. So as I'm saying, like, if you saw it for a minute and then it was suddenly gone, that was intentional, that was deliberate. Like I said, I stand by everything I said in that video. I just wish I had spoken a little bit better and expressed myself better in it. So that's what I tried to do at the start of this one. But yeah, I'm gonna go to my living room and see how I do, and I'll check in with you later. This lighting is doing me absolutely no favors. As you can see, it's still same day. I got at least a little bit of makeup on. I didn't do anything too crazy because I just don't have the energy, but I am someone who feels a little bit better when I do have something on my face because it just makes me feel more awake and alive and less like I look sick. I still feel ill. It is 15 after 11 in the morning right now. I still haven't eaten a single thing. I haven't even finished my first drink of the day. Not alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, especially not at 11 in the morning. But yeah, I have a little mug in front of me. Haven't finished that. Can't bring myself to eat anything. I still just feel so sick. And I do have some little shooting and stabbing pains that are happening. I can tell that my pain to the touch is gonna be setting in pretty soon. I do at least get some warning shots for that. And for anyone who's new to my channel, basically what happens is I get into these weird states where the slightest touch on my skin just hurts like crazy. It's part of why when I was younger, I didn't want like the adults in my life to hug me, and people thought I was just being really antisocial, but I wasn't. I was like, no, you don't understand, it hurts. And people just automatically think you're making an excuse not to hug them. It's like, no, like even just doing a slice like that will hurt so badly when that sets in. And it's just like, my nerves are just shot. they're just shot from everything that I've had to go through in my life. And so it's very weird for me sometimes, like when it's a day like today where I have compounding pains, like 1 hour I'll have, stabbing or something, then it'll be burning, and then it'll be the whole weird sensitivity to touch. And yeah, it's very, very strange. But I just kind of roll with it. I deal with it as best I can. I am currently not on any prescriptions or anything. I had been getting given pain meds way back when I was a teenager, and I stopped taking them for a couple reasons. One is when I take pain medicine, I'm very, very sensitive to the side effects. And the side effects of my pain medicines, no matter which one I took, were that it would make me feel sick. And then on top of my pain meds, I would have pain meds that made me feel sick. So I had to take nausea meds for my pain meds. And it was just getting too much to where I just felt zonked out all day. I am not someone who enjoys feeling zonked out all day. And the other reason is just, It's expensive. At this point in my life, I prefer to just get pain medicine when I know I'm absolutely going to need it, when I'm going to be traveling or working a convention or something like that. But yeah, that's about where I am right now. I'll check in with you again a little bit later on and let you see how I'm doing. I want to take a minute to have a brief discussion about something that I think is extremely important that isn't really considered by enough people online, in real life either, but more frequently online, and that is the fact that as soon as you decide you're going to be someone on YouTube who uses your platform to try to educate or just have some kind of, video diary involving a chronic health problem or a disability, you basically get a target painted on your forehead. It's really sad, but it's true. People will automatically want to come to your comment section and hate you for whatever you're going through. People will automatically put you in nasty forums like lolcow and stuff where they mock you for whatever you're going through, and you will have tons of people decide that they know better than your doctors. They'll go on WebMD and they will, basically just Google symptoms of whatever diseases. And if you don't tick every single symptom box of that disease, they'll be like, oh, this person's lying. They're just in it for the attention. And if you say absolutely nothing, if you want to be more private and you talk about your symptoms and stuff, but you're not really comfortable discussing exactly what health problems you're going through, which is your choice, you don't have to tell anyone that, then you get people on the opposite side of that issue where they're just like, well, they won't say what they have, so they're obviously faking. And I'm getting to a point, the further into my channel I go, where I know I'm not going to please everybody. And it's just a sad reality that I want to continue making chronic health journey and disability content on here. I think it's educational. I think it helps people. I think it gives a better sense of community to the other disabled and chronically ill people on the platform so they feel less alone. And if we change even one person's mind at the end of the day, I think that's more than worth everything we have to deal with on here. Just one person who was maybe one of those hateful people or was accusing people of something that wasn't true. You don't deserve information about someone else's life. What you deserve is whatever that person is comfortable discussing with you. If they're online or if they're in real life, it doesn't matter if it is a family member, a friend, a stranger. If someone's not comfortable talking to you about their health, they don't have to. And if they are comfortable talking about it, stop worrying so much about whether or not another YouTuber has the same problem and this person doesn't match all their symptoms. Stop worrying about whether or not that person matches everything on WebMD. Just stop worrying and listen instead, because everyone's journey in this life is different. Everyone's health is different. Things impact people differently. I have known a couple different people who have had to have brain surgeries in around the same place in my life. One of them is my grandmother. My grandmother and this other person had surgery for a tumor in around the same part of their brain, and they have completely different after stories. Like my grandmother has this weird thing where like either her body works or her brain works, and that's about it. So she'll be very mentally cognizant. She'll know what's going on around her. She'll know who you are. She'll be able to carry on a pretty normal conversation, but she can't physically do anything for herself. She needs special assistance for everything. Or she can move slightly better, definitely not 100%, but slightly better, but she has no idea who you are. She has no idea where she is or what's going on. Her brain just shuts down. Sometimes she can't even speak. The other person, they'll have like weird little filtering issues, but other than that, that's basically all that's happened to them. Because at the end of the day, everything going on in your body is impacted in some way or another by your brain, and your brain is a weird thing. We really don't understand that much of it yet. And I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just wish people were kinder and more accepting and understanding online sometimes. Not just for me, but for everybody. Because I go back and forth a lot about whether or not I'm ever going to explain in more detail everything that's wrong with me. Because even before I was on YouTube, even in my real life, I have a huge stack of medical records stemming all the way back from, before I was born. And I've gotten to such a low point before with people in my, real life refusing to believe me, saying that I'm doing all this for attention, saying that I'm not really sick, that I've shown them my medical records. I'm like, here is all the proof you need. Here's everything I've been diagnosed with. Here's all the medications I've been, all the tests I've had. Here's the surgeries I've had and what the surgeries were for. I've shown people all of that stuff. And even though they then had the proof that I am an ill person and the proof of everything that's wrong with me, they still then decided, well, now I have this thing against this person, and they weaponized it. They weaponized my medical files, which is disgusting, and used it to try to tear me down in whatever way they could. And so this is why I say, like, it doesn't matter whether you're really upfront and honest and transparent about everything dealing with your health and your disability, and it doesn't matter if you're kind of cryptic. People are gonna find a reason to hate you for what you're going through. And I am very aware, as someone who obviously watches other disabled and chronically ill people online, that there are fakers out there. There are illness fakers out there. There are people who have been proven to be illness fakers and people who are speculated to be illness fakers. And yes, that is very harmful to the community. People who fake disability or fake their chronic pain are harmful to the community. But you know what's equally as harmful? People deciding that they know who's faking and who isn't. Even if you are 90% sure someone is an illness faker or a disability faker, don't say anything, don't put them in a forum, don't make YouTube videos about them, because I have seen people fully chased offline because people misunderstood their diagnosis, thought they were illness faking, it turned out they weren't, and they became like suicidal and stuff over it. It can be extremely harmful, extremely dangerous. When people were first accusing me of being an illness faker before I, showed them my medical records and stuff, I got so low that I just stopped going to the doctors altogether. I stopped seeing doctors. I stopped seeing specialists because I was like, it doesn't matter anyway. No matter what I do, people are going to think that I'm faking anyway. And as a result of that, and just the fact that for 15 years doctors weren't listening to me, I ended up with serious complications during a surgery because I didn't realize how bad one of my health problems had gotten. It got really out of hand. I should have had it seen to a long time before then. But like I said, 15 years of doctors not listening. And then when I had a doctor who listened, I let these idiots get in my head. And it turned out I had several grapefruit-sized tumors in my lower abdomen that were squashing everything, making it so I couldn't digest food well, couldn't go to the bathroom well. And because I waited so long to get the surgery, I ended up with multiple complications during it, really bad complications. And I'm still struggling from those issues today. And so please, even, like I said, even if you're 95% sure someone's an illness faker online, don't say anything, because at the end of the day, you aren't 100%. There's no way for you to know 100% whether or not someone's being honest about that. I'd rather have some illness fakers infiltrating the space and just ignore them than accidentally shun someone who actually is sick and needs help.